where did the idea come from to mix romance, horror as an alien invasion?
Well, Chris Stokes came up with the idea, and he called me and let me know what his idea was. He was brains doing some brainstorming. He wrote out a whole little like synopsis and everything like that, an outline, and he was like, "This is what I want to do. I want this film. I want to do something with aliens, and I want to do something sci-fi, but I also want to make sure that it has a great love story." So that was his thing, making sure that the love story was great and the friendship story was great, but also that you got that riveting excitement of, the aliens invasion and stuff like that. So that's where the story came from, and we capitalized on making sure that it was a great story about bonding and friendship and love and coming together with that, even though there's a situation going on. It's still a moment to bond together and work together to try to survive. So a story of survival, a story of love, and a story of, you know, people being tested. You know what I mean? And what will you do in that situation?
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So, you co-wrote it as well, but also starring in the film. How was it kind of juggling it? I know everybody think, yeah, you wrote it and it's over. Now you can just act. There's still a lot of pieces that
No,
gotta
it,
go.
it definitely is a lot of pieces as writer. We went through I think a couple of even rewrites on set where we have to power and we got to sit and say, okay, when you write a story, it's kind of like, once you start creating the film and creating the work and you get the talent there and you get the actors there, it starts to become the film. You know what I'm saying? It's not just what's on paper. So things change, so I had to break out the laptop, like, all right, cool, we're gonna change this up, boom, boom, boom. At the same time being an actor, there was days that I didn't work and there's days that I came to set as just my producer actor, I mean my producer and writer hat on. And then there's days that I had to, be engulfed into it where I was playing Andre. So, it's not difficult when you love what you do. When you're passionate about what you do and it's not work. It becomes just like, just fun and really, really working hard to see the everything come together as one piece. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like all the different pieces come together as one. I think
yeah.
that's the really, really bomb exciting part.
Awesome. No, I was excited. I will never forget BET Awards and it came out and I said, "Oh, I gotta see this." I was like,
Oh, that's
"Okay."
what's up. Okay. Give me
No, I
that.
promise you, no lie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it definitely caught me. And I'm
Yeah.
also a horror person, so I want to
Yeah.
know, what do you want, like, kind of black audiences to kind of take away from this film? Because we don't normally be
That's
too much in these horror
See,
films.
that's the thing. Black people, you don't really see black people in horror films or black people in sci-fi. So as
Yeah,
black filmmakers, that was our goal. We wanted to make sure that we could see ourselves in a movie like this as well. You know what I'm saying? And I think the important thing for that's why we want everybody to get out there, man, get out there and support the movie. It comes out this Friday. Show up, show out to the theaters, man, in droves. Get out there and really, really support because it really shows Hollywood that we can make movies like this as well as African American filmmakers. It opens the door for other African American filmmakers, young directors, young writers, young producers, young actors out there that are really trying to make their mark. It opens all of those doors, and it really makes our stand as far as people taking us seriously as black people, making these kind of movies and not just pigeonholed to one kind of movie. You know what I mean?
what do you think about the industry as a whole right now in terms of we are starting to see, yourself, we have, other filmmakers that are making, horror films and kind of changing this, genre bending type of conversation.
I think it's amazing because, I would say 15 years ago, you think of horror, you think, oh, the black person gonna die first. You got one token black guy in there, they gonna die first, and then the horror movie takes off. And then we just don't even exist in that genre. And I think with movies like, Sinners and movies like him and Jordan Peele was able to break that open with his horror and you know it's really starting to create this idea that we are here and we can do these kind of movies. It's not just these movies don't just go to other actors and other people. We can really create that space for ourselves too and be successful at it. You know what I mean? So I think that's really, really what's important for these kind of movies to be made and put in the theaters and for people to support them. Because the more support we get from our core audience, the bigger these movies become, the more opportunities and the more we can make. So, and then you can see black people in any kind of space.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
what's important.
Of course, of course. So my last question for you is, what do you think about the conversation versus the theatrical releases and the streaming and how you work? Are you just kind of wherever you could get the eyeballs? Do you think there is some
Oh
type of,
no,
you know,
I
with
think
that?
Tubi has opened so many doors for us as footage films and gave us that platform to really build our core audience
Mhm.
with streaming. You know what I'm saying? But it's all free. So, going from
Hey
being
guys,
being streaming for free to then going to the theaters, it really speaks volumes if we really can go and really support, because it shows that we can do both, and we're not just used to sitting at home watching a movie and being lazy and be like, oh, I'm gonna watch that on Tubi or I'm gonna watch it on Netflix. Like, we really want to go out there and we want to experience that experience as well. Take our family, take our friends, you know what I'm saying? Go movie hopping and just, see the great movie out.
Perfect, perfect.